Hello, Mrs. Hardy. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to help you out with your workshop. As an education major myself, I just love the opportunity to be able to help students and teachers in the classroom now before I actually get involved in my own classroom. So I've made a basic outline of things I suggest that I think you should put in the workshop. So to start off, I think you should really work on talking about the online classes. So now in the 21st century, we really don't use class time for lecturing. You come into class prepared with the things that you'll talk about in class. So you'll do your readings, you'll do, the basic stuff that you'll learn in the class. When you come into class, your teachers expect you to know just a little bit what you can do so you can at least have something to share with the class. So this is helpful with online classes. So online classes, there's online books, there's online tests, online quizzes, really online anything is really taken over the education world. And what I really would suggest is just incorporating that into the classroom. So it doesn't mean you have to completely get rid of your lecturing and learning in the classroom that you're used to doing as of the 20th century. Just incorporate more of what the 21st century is and encourage students to teach themselves, to not rely so much on their teacher to teach them, but to rely on the student to be their own teacher. What I believe in the 21st century is with teachers that the teachers aren't necessarily, teachers, but they're more of the guiders. They're going to guide you to what you need to learn so you can make your own discoveries. Another thing I would encourage you is to determine quality sources. So quality sources can be, there's really a quality source is something that's credible. So it's done, the writer has done the research behind it, the author will know information, and really it's something a little bit stronger than, just Googling something off the internet. So with that, I believe you should have teachers and students both learn what would be a good source, and when it's appropriate to use it. So if you want to know like a quick fact, a little basic background, Wikipedia is a good source for that. It's perfectly fine to use, even though we're always told it's not okay to use. But if it's more in-depth or something you need to write a paper on, Wikipedia is not a good source. Whereas a more credible source is something that has been research driven behind it, and that would be a valid source to use if you're running a paper. So what I also would encourage is incorporating more technology in the classroom. Since technology is really everywhere in the 21st century, that we all have smartphones, we have iPads, we have laptops, even our fridges are technology based. We would encourage students, this is what their lives will be like. Technology is going to be a part of every aspect of their life, and having them start off at a young age now will give them a better understanding in the future of how to use it. So incorporating things like smart boards and iPads will help them understand better. As well as if we're going to incorporate technology, we also need to teach them. We can't expect everyone to have a common understanding of technology. You'd have to start through the basics, so teaching the basics of an iPad, how to use it, what an app is, general stuff like that. And then you could get into more details about what a specific app is would be good for in a different class. I would also encourage you to teach students the importance of being good with communication. That we oftentimes forget when we're on, the internet, on Facebook or on Twitter, that other people are going to read what we're saying, and it can affect people. I think it's really hard for people to understand now that what you do say will affect people. So I believe it would be important to teach students how to be better communicators. So see where miscommunication can happen and find a way, use their own skills to try and find a way to prevent miscommunication skills. Miscommunication always will happen, but there's ways to make it less severe as it could be. I also encourage students to think critically. Thinking critically can just be anything. It can be looking deeper into it, thinking, if you're giving a fact, asking why it is the way it is. It makes you become a more creative person and gives you a better knowledge of what you need to do. I also think that having students become more creative in the classroom, where in the 20th century, you have your art class or your music class, and that's where you're solely word creative. Your other classes, math, English, science, and history, those are more about learning. Now in the 21st century, we're being creative in any aspect. You can use your art skills or your music skills or really any kind of skill you have to be able to help you in the classroom. And I think that would be beneficial to have a student who may not be as intellectually smart, but more creative, to feel like they aren't falling behind in class. And I believe that would really helpful in the 21st century to have people use their creative skills and come together to solve a problem. So these are just some ideas I think you should include in the workshop. Feel free to continue on with this or add any other details, but thank you for your time and I really appreciate it.